Okay, we'll go ahead and call this rulemaking hearing to order. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elizabeth Taylor, and I'm the General Counsel for the Tennessee State Board of Education, and I am presiding over this rulemaking hearing. At the last State Board of Education regular meeting, which was held on April 15th, 2016, the State Board voted to approve on first reading a measure which presented revisions to the Standards for Child Care Centers and School-Age Child Care Programs rule to align with recent changes to the Child Care Development Block Grant Program. Changes have also been made to ensure the ease and readability of the rules for all providers and families. The purpose of this hearing is to receive feedback from interested parties on this proposed change. The feedback from this hearing will be presented to the State Board for their consideration before they vote on the item on final reading at their July board meeting. If the board approves the item, the next step in the rule promulgation process is approval by the State Attorney General's office and the Secretary of State. After the Secretary of State approves it, it'll go to the Joint Government Operations Committee of our legislature, and they'll also hold a hearing on the item before voting on whether or not it will be included in the rules omnibus bill. So that is all I have in way of introductory remarks. So we will now open it up to public comments. For questions that I can't answer, if anyone has any questions, I will seek assistance from Misty Moody with the Department of Education, who's to my left, and or Elizabeth Fiveash with the Department of Education, who is to her left. During the public comment portion, please state your name and your organizational affiliation, if any, before making your comments. And please remember to make your comments brief to allow time for as many interested individuals to comment as possible. So the first person that we have, and please forgive me if I mispronounce anyone's name, the first person that we have to speak is Bobby Spink of Head School. Yes. And if you could, when making your comments, if you could stand right there at the edge of the table so we can get you on camera. So right at between those two tables. That's good. Yep. Thank you.
All right.
I know. That's so we can get you on camera and record.
Well, you can get my notes too. Excuse me for those.
My
name is Bobby Spink, and I'm the head of school at the Montessori School in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've been head of school for 43 years. My children went to that school, and my grandchildren are in Montessori in another state. So I've had lots of experience dealing with children in the state of Tennessee. And I'm here today because I'm concerned about the proposed Chapter 0520-12-01 proposal that the legislature will be voting on. I have tried since 1973 to produce very high-quality Montessori environment. A high-quality Montessori environment means that that you have to have a fully qualified Montessori teacher. That's in my school, that's an undergraduate degree is required, and then your Montessori training after that, which I tell my parents is really the equivalent to a master's degree. You need to have the right child size, because Montessori is an individualized approach where children learn not only from the teacher but from one another. And so if our group size is limited, our learning for our children is limited. Also a firm believer in multi-age group size, because small children learn from older children learn better what they've already learned by teaching to younger children. So that's really important. From day one, we put all our money into equipment in the classroom. When our alumni come back, they always laugh at how nice it looks outside now, because we didn't put any money into the outside. The equipment is really important. A high-quality Montessori program should have a full complement of equipment, and the teacher should be using an entire curriculum worth of equipment. It's a systems approach. The system doesn't work unless all of those are part of the system. So if you limit if you limit the class size, or you say you have to have toys in your classroom, or you say whatever, then the system doesn't work as well. I have 3 living children who prove that the system works. So when I moved to Chattanooga in '73, there was no Montessori. My husband said, let's make one, and we did, so our children could have one. And so I've been involved with the rules since 1973, and I'd like those rules to stay open to allow us to have quality Montessori, and I'm concerned that some of the proposed changes will limit the system that we have in Montessori, and it will limit our parent choice to quality Montessori, which then becomes a consumer protection issue. I really wanted good Montessori for my children. I wanted good early childhood education, and I know that's what all of us in this room are interested in, is really quality early childhood education. I, as a special ed teacher, learned early on that what I thought was the best option was Montessori. We'd like to work with you as part of the Montessori Alliance of Tennessee to help make sure that the Montessori schools in Tennessee are as high quality as they can be. And I thank you very much for listening to us today.
Thank you for your comments. The next person that we have to speak is Nelson Griffin, and following him will be Darlene Neely.
Good morning.
Good morning. That's good. Thank
good?
you. Perfect.
All right. So good morning. My name is Nelson Griffin. I've been a Montessori early childhood educator in Memphis, Tennessee for the past 3 years at the Maria Montessori School in Memphis, which was established in 1986. And I also serve as the current president of the Montessori Alliance of Tennessee. Montessori so thank you for the opportunity to comment on the proposed rules changes to Chapter 0520-12-01. Montessori education is a comprehensive system that must have certain essential components in place to provide our families here in Tennessee with the assurance that the school choice they have made is, in fact, providing their children with this system of education. The essentials include a group size and ratios that is consistent with recommendations from the national Montessori organizations. For example, the International Montessori Association, which was founded in 1929, suggests a group size of 24 to 35 in a primary classroom. We must have multi-age classrooms based on developmentally appropriate practice, especially educated Montessori credentialed teacher who is trained and knows how to implement the Montessori research-based curriculum materials and method of instruction, as I think Bobby really elaborated on very well. These proposed rule changes will have a significant impact on our schools, making it impossible for parents here in Tennessee to choose an authentic Montessori education program. So we urge you to work with us, the Montessori Alliance of Tennessee, to define criteria for a state-approved Montessori school program so that our families, and most importantly, our children here in Tennessee, receive the best Montessori education practices we can offer. Montessori has been in Tennessee since 1963 when it was started in Memphis, and we've always cooperated and worked very well with y'all, and we'd like to continue that relationship. So thank you for your time. The Montessori Alliance of Tennessee looks forward to working with you.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin.
Thank you.
Ms. Neely.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Darlene Abernathy Neely, and I am with Nia House Montessori School, which is a new school here not far, almost within walking distance of you, so we're near downtown. The moment I stepped into Nia House, I knew we had found a school that would nurture our son by respecting and valuing his thoughts and ideas, regardless of his young age. I knew that he would be safe and able to grow as a student of life in an enriched Montessori curriculum designed to cultivate his joy of learning. Parent Jessica Lyons. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to comment on the proposed changes of 0520-12-01. I have been in Montessori for now 20 years. It's hard to believe. I've worked in the public sector and also as an independent Montessori program director. I'm a founding faculty member of Nashville's first public Montessori school, which was Cole Jackson Montessori. I'm a co-founder of the former faculty member at Belmont University's Montessori training program. I also am now with Nia House Montessori. Through Montessori education, I feel that I have helped to change the face of early childhood education in Tennessee. The Montessori philosophy is a brain-based approach to education, and it provides an unparalleled foundation for the development of academic, social, and executive functions critical for advanced problem solving and lifetime success. That is a quote from Dr. Stephen Hughes, who is professor of pediatrics and neurology at the University of Minnesota. The Montessori educational environment encourages diversity, curiosity, exploration, discovery as a means to achieve academic excellence. And academic excellence is what we should desire in Tennessee, a state that consistently ranks in the bottom 10 states academically. Montessori is a system of education that requires each essential component to provide a true Montessori education, as my colleagues have said. Some of those essential components that have been mentioned are the class size, the 24 to 35 students in the multi-age classroom setting, a lead teacher with Montessori credentials from an accredited Montessori teacher education program, and the use of research-based Montessori materials and curriculum. Positive student outcomes, as evidenced by a number of research studies, are compromised when Montessori programs are not able to fully be implemented. Limits on group size, ages of the children served, mandates on curriculum and materials, and a lack of recognition of the Montessori credentials from a nationally accredited teacher preparation program result in programs that are not offering children and families the Montessori education which they desire. This, as we said before, could be a consumer protection issue. When parents are given a choice in Tennessee and they choose a Montessori education but are not able to get it because of state regulations that are not consistent with authentic Montessori education, there could be an issue. For children to truly benefit from the Montessori curriculum, outcome studies indicate that Montessori programs must be fully implemented. My early years of teaching at Hull Jackson showed that offering an authentic Montessori early childhood education in public schools enables families from diverse cultural and economic backgrounds to experience this system of education for their children. Current regulations limit independent Montessori schools' ability to accept public funds to serve a more diverse population of students. This is not consistent with the intention of providing a high-quality early childhood education in Tennessee. Parent Eric Malo wrote, Alicia and I had the opportunity to observe Grayson's classroom at Nia House Montessori today during their work cycle. It was an amazing experience. I only wish that all children had such a wonderful opportunity to learn in this type of environment with such fantastic teachers. I look forward to working with you to make sure that all of our children have success in Tennessee.
Thank you, Ms. Neely. Next up is Maria Burke.
Hi. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. My name is Maria Burke, and I am an upper elementary guide at a Binter Montessori school. I am both a parent and a credentialed teacher. I have just finished my 15th year teaching. I'm going into my 6th year at a Bintra. My son is almost 8, and he's been a Montessori kid from birth. It's really, really important that we're able to provide the larger class sizes for students, for them to be able to serve as mentors and role models. Because Montessori is so different than public education and daycares, it establishes a routine of concentration, coordination, order, and independence for the early childhood classrooms, and multi-age groupings are essential to this. Because the guides need to be Montessori certified, the lead guides, we go through quite a bit of extra training. I can attest to that. And so we really want to make sure that the the regulations that we have to follow are different than other traditional daycares, just because of the philosophy of Maria Montessori. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Ms. Burke. Next up, Mary Beard.
Good morning. My name is Mary Beard. I have been in the education system since 1981, so I've been in this for quite some time. I've been a director, was in a public school for 10 years, and a director for over 30 years, and an adjunct faculty member at Ball State in the education department. I'm here because due to the expansion of Cedars Preparatory Academy, I purchased a building 0.4 miles from the main campus to house 2 classrooms. On Friday, June 10th, I received a letter from Department of Ed stating that these 2 classrooms would no longer be accredited with Department of Ed. I called Misty, and I've never met Misty. Are you Misty?
Okay, yeah,
okay,
nice to
you
meet you.
can talk to. I called Misty and was told that if I moved these classrooms to the main campus, then they would be accredited. Of course, that's after I've purchased the building for these 2 classrooms. The short notice is concerning, as I've already have students enrolled for the 2016-17 school year. Parents were told, were advertised, that it was accredited by Department of Ed. I'm known to be very truthful in what I state, and that's why people trust me. And now I'm going to have to backtrack and tell people, oh, no, I'm sorry, I was wrong. That's concerning to me. I need details as to why public schools, which live in special school districts, 2 preschool classrooms are not going to have to abide by that rule, but yet I am. As far as Google Maps says, it takes 1 mile for me to get from the main campus to the building that I purchased for the 2 additional classrooms. So I need to know why that's the case and the timeline for this change. Am I going to? This short notice is quite concerning. I'm told that by the end of June that something's going to have to be done. That's 2 weeks. And here's the letter saying it was mailed June. I got it June 10th. It's quite concerning. The timeline there is quite concerning.
Am I speaking on that?
Yeah, I don't know anything about the
So Ms. Beard, as I told you on Friday, I immediately started working on your request, and I told you my counterpart over at DHS was on vacation, and so we spent the weekend actually having a conversation about this while she was on vacation. I also told you I was going to be leaving the country on Wednesday, and
That's why I came to that.
Yeah, you know, and I knew you were. That's fine, and then I would immediately start working on that. I have already been working on that for you this morning. We just have a little bit of a block right here where I can't sit at my desk and continue working on that for you. The reason why, as I stated on Friday, the LEA-driven voluntary pre-K classrooms are allowed to be under DOE and not DHS is because they are school-administered early childhood they are Lebanon
Yes,
Special School District's schools. They're community partner pre-K programs. So it is different. I told you I couldn't give you, and I still can't give you exact numbers because I can't spit that out. I just regulate those programs. I know we have 935 in the state, but I know in Shelby County-ish 30, please don't hold me to that, I don't know exactly, but there's about 30 community partner ones. I came from an organization that had 3 community partner programs, VPK programs in it. So unless one of you guys have a better answer than that, that's why LEA-driven state-funded pre-Ks do fall under our jurisdiction that aren't located in the school versus a private school.
And there's 2 different statutory authorities for voluntary pre-K programs and the Montessori programs.
This isn't Montessori. This is a Montessori.
Well,
It's a
for
private
any
school.
Yeah, but it doesn't really
for
matter.
any
It's a private
early
school.
child-
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
For any early child, there's different statutory authority for each of those.
So my question is then, when do I have to switch over, and how do I
Sure.
backtrack on telling my parents that have already enrolled their children in what
Sure.
they think is a Department of Ed accredited school?
Sure. So we certificate, we don't accredit. So we need to make sure that is
Okay.
clear. The second thing is, yes, you're right, your letter came late. It came late because I sent it to the address of the school, just like I stated on Friday to you.
there's no mail that goes there.
Yeah, but how am I to know? I have 2,000 schools.
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
I send it to the address that you provide for me. And so that's what I did. I sent it to your school. I didn't even know that another agency had walked in. I haven't had a deal with the other agency to give you guys a week, to give you guys time, so that way you didn't get a letter, so we could have conversation before. I had no idea that you had not received your letter, because I had sent it to the address that you provided. The letter says, and the truth is, the department does not have any jurisdiction at all over any programs that are not schools, period. If you are not a school, I do not have jurisdiction over you. And a school has been defined, and it is an early childhood program that sits alongside an elementary, middle, or high school. I told you before, if it's right here across the street, that's one thing. If it's on the same campus, that's one thing. But a mile away,
It's a 0.4 miles.
okay, but you just said
It said
1
it takes
mile.
1 minute. It takes 1 minute.
Okay, you
one
did say-
minute.
you did say
I'm sorry.
mile. Okay,
1
okay.
minute to get there. It's 0.4 miles. You look
Okay.
on MapQuest, that's what it says.
Okay. I have no idea what I was just saying now. I apologize. As I stated on Friday, as I told you, I'm working on this.
So what do I need to do?
So what thank you, you got me, okay.
Yeah, so what do I
the
need to
letter
do?
was sent, I really don't have jurisdiction over programs that aren't schools. So
We
really,
go through 5th grade.
not at your Owl's Nest location. We do not do feeder schools. We do not do feeder schools. So really, the letters were sent out to give you a heads up, to say, you know what, here's 30 days. Not 30, here's till June 30th, I'm sorry. It's a clean break, it's the end of the fiscal year, it's the end of your school year completely. Here's some time. If your school starts back in August, it gives you from July 1 until your school starts to work with DHS and to get everything that you need to do to be in order to be able to be licensed under them. It truly was giving you time. We don't have to give time. If I don't have, I keep saying I apologize. If we don't have jurisdiction, we don't have jurisdiction. So that was giving you time. I apologize that your letter came late. I can't control that. I sent it to the address that was given.
So I think to answer your question, what Misty is saying is it's not under the Department of Education's jurisdiction anymore, because it doesn't fall within the definition of the programs that they govern. So your next step is to work with DHS to make sure that your program is accredited with them.
And I have like 2 weeks to make that happen by the end of June.
When does the school year start? Is they just need to do it before the school year starts?
So the letter says that you have until June 30th to either become a school, which means apply through Marcy Tidwell's Office of School Choice. As a school, Owl's Nest will have to be a school, or seek licensure with the Department of Human Services.
Well, the Owl's Nest is part of Cedars Preparatory Academy. I think that's where the gray area is. That's just 2 classrooms from the Cedars Preparatory Academy is on that campus. We call it the Owl's Nest just to distinguish the location of it, but it's all under the Cedars Preparatory Academy as one business. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
But it still doesn't matter because we're 0.4 miles away.
I told you on Friday I would work on this for
Oh,
you,
okay.
and I have been this morning.
So what do I need to do to make sure we
Um,
keep our doors open?
Well, you can keep your doors open regardless. I'm not telling you to close your doors or keep them open. I'm telling you that right this very minute, unless you are becoming a school and you go and apply to be a school, the Owl's Nest becomes a school under the Office of School Choice, you will have to go under DHS.
Okay, I feel like Cedars Preparatory is under Marcy Tidwell as a
I understand
public
that.
school. Yeah, that's, so I feel like in my understanding of that, we are that.
Yes, ma'am, but we don't recognize satellite sites. We don't
Okay,
recognize
that's-
feeder schools.
Okay.
Do you have, is that the end of your comment?
I guess so.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Beard. So that's all the people that we have who have signed up. Has anyone entered late that wishes to comment? No? Okay, again, I thank you all for being here today and giving your input on the rulemaking process. It's part of what makes the process transparent, which is what we seek to do. And again, these comments will be given to the board members before the July meeting, which is when they will vote on these changes on final reading. Again, we've been recording here today. I think we all know that. And we will post the recording to our website. If you guys have any associates who might want to review it, again, we'll let the board see the video as well. And again, so we'll consider the comments here today, and I know several of you guys submitted written comments as well. Those will also be provided to our board members so they can consider them and voting on these changes to the rule. The public comment period has closed, but again, our board members' informations are available on the website if you want to contact them directly. If you want information about the rule change, you can also find that on our website, and our website is www.tn.gov/SBE. And to find that information, you'll go to meetings and then click on past meetings and go to the April 16th, 2015 meeting, and that'll show information about the proposed changes. There being no further business before us today, I will adjourn this meeting, and I again thank you guys for coming and for your valued input.